What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, well, it's going to be kind of a one-off video, okay? I usually don't do like product reviews. I usually don't do any type of building tools or anything like that. But today, I need to, okay? Not necessarily need to, but I'm going to, okay? I need a press brake, okay? I don't have one. I do have a 20-ton press over here. And well, the idea was to kind of make something for this, but after looking around kind of on some plans and some kind of, brainstorming going on, I think the best thing to do is to kind of get a DIY kit. And well, that's where this comes into play. Swag Off-Road makes a press brake for that 20-ton press over there. And rather than spending a full day trying to design a press brake myself, and then spend another day making one, and then spend another day redoing probably what I've made because I probably will mess it up. I just went online. Swag Off-Road offers these press brakes that fit in that press. So why not try it? It's very affordable, also comparable to a lot of the other big press brakes out there. And well, I don't do a lot of pressing sheet metal. However, when I need it, I need it. So this kit, I think, because I haven't even opened it yet, I think it's going to work for what I need to do. So I make a couple brackets here and there when I'm doing some air ride kits where I kind of put a brake in the metal, kind of like, I'll show you on this one. Right here, kind of the upper bag mount. This has got a brake in it here. The brackets that are kind of holding the lateral bar on, there's a brake in those as well. Kind of what that does is kind of give that sheet metal a little bit more stiffness, and it allows it to really not to flex and turn and bend. So when I need it, I need it. What I have been doing is kind of scoring that, putting it in my vise, big old crescent wrench and bending it over, then welding it back up. And that just takes up too much time. The time I've made, the time it's taking me to make all those brackets, well, I probably could have already designed one and built one and put on that press already, but I don't know. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a kind of a DIY kit. I'm not the one that made this whole kit. Obviously, it's Swag Off-Road, and they call it a DIY kit. DIY kit, well, because I'm going to have to do it myself. So let's get into the video. Let's see, go ahead and open this up. See all the parts that are in there. I think this is what it's called, an unwelded kit anyways. So I've got to do some stuff to it. So yeah, let's get into it. These boxes are really heavy too, by the way. So if you do order these, which you can go on their website, I'll probably put a link or something in there to try to show you guys exactly what I've got. So if you go on there and you do get one, just know that it's heavy. So if you have a little old lady that's a delivery person, and you know your part's coming, get out there and help her out, because these ain't light. I don't even know if it shows up how heavy they are. Nope, I don't know. I don't care. Oh, there it goes. 25 pounds. This one box is 25 pounds, and that one is 25 pounds. 50 pounds. Why does that matter? It doesn't. Just trying to fill the old dead space in the old video. Let's go. Get open there. Now, if I remember correct, yep. I remember, like I said a minute ago, you might have a weld kit. One of these is like comes welded, or one comes unwelded. I bought the unwelded kit because, I want to feel like I'm building something, right? So get everything set out. Just, I don't even know what's supposed to be in here, to be honest with you. No. I am not sponsored by these guys either. So I have used a couple of their things in the past, and it's still actually holding up. And their prices for a lot of stuff, they're kind of, they're very economical. They got a lot of tape on these too. Yeah, I guess 25-pound boxes, you really want to make it secure. Oh, there's the little fingers for them. Quality looks really cool, really good too. As far as the fingers as going to a point, they don't look like they're all wavy. I bought one, kind of like this little kit you put in another small hand brake, and it was garbage. I think that's it. Oh yeah, gotta have some stickers. There you go. That's where I got it. Now typically I would just be throwing these away with anything else, but I think I'm gonna actually have to read these instructions. Yep. No, I guess I should tell you this is a finger brake too, where I can. That's what I was just showing you. Those are the finger brakes. Rather than having one piece that's, I don't know, 28 inches long and just the whole thing gets broke, you can actually take these fingers out and do like a 6-inch piece, 8-inch piece, 10-inch piece. You don't have to bend up that whole piece of metal. So there you go, finger brake. That's the kit I got also, not just the press brake. It's a finger brake. All right, step 1. Welding the guide rods and optional clamping gears. All right, let's just get through the instructions. I'm gonna get through the instructions and then I'm just gonna kind of start playing with it and we'll go from there. It even says in the instructions, note, it should be a tight fit. Oh, it is. It is definitely a tight fit. All right, I did go ahead and I got one in, all right. Didn't I try to switch my mind up and go from the big hammer to the press? Well, the press, there's nothing for this side to set on. So every time I try to press it, just kind of wants to move this front end up. So what I did, which, I would recommend it also, is I went ahead and just kind of ground down the outside of that, put a small taper just on the very edge. Now, the downside of using this hammer is, well, it kind of mushrooms the edge. You have to hit that really hard. Even with me tapering this, I've got to bust that thing really hard. And what has to happen later on in the few steps is this has to be a sleeve on it as well. So as you can see, I'm going to have to smooth that down because, well, the big hammer is mushroom things. So recommend you tapering it, and if you can get it in your press, get it in your press. All right, I got them both in. It tells you to kind of have it in halfway. What does it say? 1/8 to 3/16 down. That way we have some sort of tacking surface. So as you can see, we're in there deep enough. Now this side, I'm gonna have to push out some. That one, yeah, it went in a lot easier than this side did. So let me get the welder turned on. We'll go ahead and get that thing tacked in, both sides. And let's see what else. It also says, this is some sort of guide. It gets tacked in here. Now, it looks like it was like broke off right there. Like it was CNC and then taken away for packaging. I guess you should have just left it. I don't know. But I'm going to get that tacked in there as well. Yeah, that one seems to fit better. What is going on? All right, on to step 2. Okay. Step 1 had about 3 steps in it. So that's going to be step 1 with 3 steps in it. This is going to be step 2 according to the directions. That's the bottom portion. Now we have to do the top guide. My mechanical skills, this has to be the top, because these pictures, well, pictures are not the greatest, but they do work if you read. I'm a visual person, so I need to see like all kinds of angles. So it might work for some, it may work for others. And for me, like I said, I got to see probably 6 different sides, 7 different pictures, just so I can kind of get a feel for it. But it does show that this is the top guide, that's the bottom guide. So I've got to get these welded on the side of here like that. Okay. Sort of like that. Now what it says though is I cannot weld it to this piece, the part that has the threads. By the directions, it even says only weld to the plate that says Swag Offroad finger brake. Okay. So now those guides are going to go on the side there. This is going to go up. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put one of these fingers inside of here just to kind of give it reference to know where the center of this is. Center of this. So I'm pretty sure that is as clear as mud, and that's what I'm going to do. Find the center, put a finger in there, weld it up. All right. So let me get you a little close up because once again, the directions aren't like I said, I'm a visual person, so I need to kind of read it about 4 or 5 times and then kind of hold everything out by what the picture's showing, and then it kind of comes to me. So maybe the directions ain't as bad as I thought. Anyways, so I put the finger in here because you need to get this in the center right here. You don't want it offset this way. You don't want it offset that way. You want it in the center of the finger itself. So that's why they ask, or they tell you in the directions to put one of these fingers in here, kind of clamp it down. Now, once again, we're going to be welding to this side that says Swag Offroad, not this side because, well, I guess that plate has to be able to move. Something has to be able to move, okay? These two press together, so if I weld it to this side and that side, well, nothing's going to open up. So I'm going to get that. Actually, that's exactly where I want it. Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to run a tack here and here, and then we'll take that off and we'll kind of do a weld down the middle of it as well. There you go. Now I'm just going to do a light tack. If I do a heavy tack, it's going to want to roll that forward. So now that I got it lightly tacked in there, take this finger out of here. Now I should be able to weld all in here, down inside there, and get a better one up in there. All right, there it is. Well, on the inside, all the way around, on the back side. Now we're gonna repeat that on this side, and then go on to step, what are we on, step 3? So far so easy. So far so easier. I'm pretty sure it's so far so good, but you know, I'll adopt so far so easy. That's all right. All right, both sides are all good and tight and tacked and not going anywhere. I did check the fingers and put them all down inside their pretty much their groove and their clamping device. So the welds are out of the way there, as well as up the side there and there. This plate has got to sit flush to uh, this clamping bar, otherwise your fingers will be loose. And if you have weld spatter kind of down inside the bottom of here, any type of spatter anywhere, those won't sit down nice and flush either. So clean up any type of spatter you have there or there and make sure those sit good and tight. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the bottom die. We're back to the bottom die again. Two of these carriage bolts, by the instrucciones of Step Trace, these are not accessible once we get it all put together. So we're going to put them in there. We're going to give the back sides a little tack. And well, that's step 3. Pretty easy. All right, last portion of this is the bottom frame, the actual forming part. All right, this is where the fingers are going to press down inside of here. You'll have your metal across the bottom. Those fingers are going to push down inside of this angle iron, and that's what's going to give you the bend. Now, this part, I believe, in my head, is pretty important. We need to get that centered up in between here and kind of rotate it. And I think what I'm going to do to kind of help center that, because, I mean, I can get it pretty close and pretty centered. One of the things it does tell you is right here, right there, and there. If those sides are not touching, if it's up in the air at all, what you got to do is take out that bottom, kind of grind that down a little bit to help that set flush. Okay. So I'm going to assemble this portion, put the fingers in here, kind of assemble it, and kind of let the weight of that kind of set this where it needs to be. Then I'll go ahead and tack all the corners in, and then just kind of, I don't want to go ahead and feed one side and feed the other, because too much heat on one side is going to want to roll that. So I'll tack here, just kind of keep going in some sort of X pattern, maybe an inch or two at a time, until this entire thing, this whole channel on both sides is welded up. But centering this is very important. So take your time on this part. I'm going to take my time. I usually don't take my time on things, but I'm going to take my time on this, because once it's welded in, I don't want to cut it out. Okay. So, all right, let me get all this stuff assembled and we'll go from there. All right, here's what I did. Went ahead, like I said, put those fingers in there, tighten this down, and slid it down its rods. And now all the weight of that is kind of pushing on that. Let's see if we can get a good angle. I can't really see a good shot, but that finger is sitting in the bottom of here. I have looked left to right on it on both sides. That finger is all the way down where it needs to be. Now I want to get this centered on it left to right. And it looks like if I just line it up here with this bottom, I don't know, bracket die holder thing, it should center it just fine. A little bit right there. Now what we can do is go ahead and tack in here, like I said, and do all my finish welding on it. All right, we are just about done. One of the last steps, it's second to last, so 2 more steps, is to get this collar on it. This collar is what's going to take and then go on the actual bottle jack. So earlier when we had to weld these little tabs on, that's what they are. They're little stops, so this thing doesn't slide all the way back. All right, so I got that kind of where I need it. I'm gonna take a little marker here. And there. All right, before we weld it up, something important here is you cannot weld it to this plate. Once again, just like we couldn't weld the sleeve here on this back plate, we cannot weld this collar on this back piece as well because, well, we can never get this to separate if we do. So just run a few tacks here, a few tacks there, we'll be good to go. All right, well, I am wrapping this up. This is it. There's two more little things you got to put in here. Well, three if you count both springs. But we got to get the springs in there. We'll lift that off of there. Put the springs kind of down inside of there. And then you need the backstop. So as this comes up, your metal is going to slide in here, and the metal that you're breaking is going to be slid into here. Well, it can come off. So this is going to go here. It's basically a track for your stop. This is the stop that sits on top, and as however thick of metal or deep your metal is, this is your stop for that. So go ahead and put these carriage bolts up through the bottom of here, onto here, lock those wing nuts on here, and well, get the springs underneath. And that's it. Track installed. Now the stop, carriage bolt on top, carriage bolt on top, ring nut underneath. There you go. Metal will slide to the front. There's your front. Come through. Set this to wherever you need it. If you need to stop, done. All right, now for the grand finale. I've got a piece of 1/4 inch, just flat bar. And I went ahead and go ahead and move this over to it. We are going to see how well this thing will bend that. You know, I really didn't even read the product specifications on if it's going to bend that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to kind of wing it and, you know, hopefully it does. I'll give it this way until it seats. Huh, what is supposed to be in there? Was there a bad place for hammers? Especially when this thing's rocking. There you go. We went just crazy with it. Went right to the 1/4 inch. Oh. Now, probably what I will do is I'll probably put some sort of air hydraulic on that, though, so I ain't got to sit there and keep pumping that. But that's for another day. Okay. Overall, very, very, very happy with that. Like I said, that took me probably not with editing, but with video and doing all that kind of stuff, it took me about an hour to build. That was kind of what you saw from unboxing all the way to me now bending some 1/4 inch flat stock. So, if you really want my thoughts on it, I think it's overall a very, very good product. Don't take the instructions, me not liking the instructions for it being a bad product, because I'm a visual kind of person, all right? It takes me forever to read a few things and then kind of comprehend what they're trying to say in there, because my language and their language, we no comprende, okay? So, anyways, overall, 5 steps. Buy that book. It was 5 steps. The material is heavy duty. I don't know what else really to say about it other than I really like it, okay? It's going to help a lot with me not having to score anymore and bending by myself on that vise. Like I said earlier, with the crescent wrench, big crescent wrench, this is going to save me a lot of time, as well as a few other things. So I also did get what they're called, I don't know where they're at. Oh, I'm over here as well. Now, this is for another time. These are called, gooseneck dies. I got to break these apart and kind of weld them together. But that's going to allow me to, I'm able to get a bend in that, like a 90 in there. But now to do like a square bend, those gooseneck dies are going to allow me to take this bend and now bend this up without the dies getting in the way or the back of the press getting in the way, hitting this area. So overall, I really like the product. Once again, I am not sponsored by Swag Offroad in no way, shape, or form. But I mean, if somebody from that company is watching, sure, I don't care. Send me a sticker, okay? Anyways, thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around to the end. If it's something you like, I'll put a description link or a link in the description about what I have. And well, there you go. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you are, share this out. Share it out. I think I'm somewhere around 1850-ish now for subscribers. So yay for all you guys out there kind of still watching and hanging out with me. Anyways, we will see you guys next time.